Hey everyone, welcome to What's Up with Pastor Chuck, and I am so excited you're with us. And by the way, I hope you do hit subscribe, and I do hope if you like today, by the way, you will like today, that you hit like, and if you dislike, we're okay with that too. But here's the thing, I love you're with us, I love you're on, and we are in a brand new series we're starting on What's Up with Pastor Chuck, and it's What's Up when it comes to relationships. You know what, God wants to have a vibrant, amazing relationship with you. But God on purpose created you to have relationships with other people. And of course, there's lots of ways we have relationships. We have friendships, there's romantic relationships, there's marriage, there's parenting and children, and we're gonna deal with quite a bit of that. But I wanted to start off today by having one of my favorite people. I talk about her all the time, Lauren Preuss here. And Keanu, you're also one of my favorites. Thanks. But I talk about Lauren way more than you. And Lauren is a singer, songwriter, someone incredibly talented. And her songs are born out of, I think, a lot of relationships, right, Lauren?
Yes, that's true. That is very true.
It is true, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know what? She did a song called Fern. And if you haven't seen the music video for Fern, you got to go on YouTube and see it. And they'd search Lauren Preuss.
Yes.
Preuss. Okay, Preuss.
Yes.
And by the way, it's so artistic and so good. Tracy and I were just talking about how we love this video because it's kind of like, whoa, watch that, you know, and it kind of sucks you in a good way. But the song itself, I said, Lauren, would you come and do it here live? And that's what I was wanting her to do, is to come do it here live.
Yeah.
What's your inspiration for this song?
Oh, man. So
a man.
It is a mannequin. It's about a mannequin. No,
I'm just kidding.
Sorry, it's playing in my ear right now. It's like the song's playing in my ear right now. So yeah, I was in a relationship and I wanted to write a cute little love song, and so I did it just about this concept of, when you're young. I don't know. I talked to the guys about this. They're like, no, we never did that. But Tracy might be able to agree with me. When I was young and I loved Justin Bieber, I would go to bed and be like, please let me dream about Justin Bieber. I just want to see Justin Bieber in my dreams. And it was kind of just like this concept of like, oh, you like someone and you want them to be in your dreams. You want to see them in your dreams. And so it's like, I was in this dream, but this person isn't there. But everything that reminds me of this person, I see in my dream. But I just can't see him. I don't know why. It's just this like fun concept. Yeah.
No, okay. I was getting super excited. I'm going to derail us a little bit. Your mom had that happen. Your
really?
mom, I'm very, very close to his mom and dad. Keanu's mom, had this dream about the guy, but she couldn't quite see him. And so she was just all caught up in it. And I won't go into the whole story. Matter of fact, I will later. It led to her meeting your dad, which led to you being here.
Yeah, thanks, parents.
Without that dream. But that
crazy.
Dream's a big deal, so that's interesting.
Maybe I'll just tell people the song is about Maureen Husen then.
That's very good. No, but when I first heard the song, honestly, I didn't know what it was about. And actually now the music video makes even more sense to me. But there was something captivating about it and something real that's in there that just comes from you.
Thank you.
And I love your music anyway. I really like this song a lot.
Thank you so much.
You said yes to doing it here live.
I didn't really have a chance, or I didn't have a choice. Sorry, not a chance.
True.
But I love you, so of course I'm gonna do it.
Okay, I love that. And you guys get ready, and the acoustic version.
Yes,
The
with Keanu.
live version of Fern.
Yes, awesome. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. To sleep and I met you on a Sunday evening. A light came through and my walls made me think of you. Open the blinds and there's people on the roof sunbathing. I saw this guy and I swear he was wearing your shoes. I don't understand I see you everywhere, but you're not here. I can be upset, your pieces scattered all around inside my head. For a drive through the ferns and the trees started talking. It's funny how minutes move on my way to you. I'll pick you up, don't you worry, it's okay that we're quiet. I'm starting to like the things that you often do. I don't understand why I see you everywhere, but you're not here. I can be upset, your pieces scattered all around inside my head. I don't understand why I see you everywhere, but you're not here. I can be upset, your pieces scattered all around inside my head. Nice.
That was great. That was great. I loved how it's kind of unplugged and cool to hear you and get to watch you sing that song that way. And you know, part of what the song says, and tell me if I'm right, obviously.
Yeah.
But part of it is like there's a part of you that doesn't understand.
Yes.
You don't understand how you're so affected by this. It affects your thoughts. It affects the way you look at things. It affects how you experience things, right?
Yeah, totally. That line of I don't understand why I see you everywhere, but you're not here. It's like this, like, I want you to be here, but you're not, you know?
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of, Lauren, and you probably already knew this ahead of time, but Proverbs chapter 30 says there are three things that are too wonderful for me to understand, four which are beyond basically my comprehension. One is the way of the eagle in the sky. The other of the serpent on the rock. The other is ship in the middle of the sea. But number four, he said, I don't understand completely what happens when a young man is with a girl he loves. It's just kind of cool that way, you know, I think. And so I think a lot of times we're going, man, love relationships are so hard.
Yeah, totally.
Do you guys ever feel like they're hard?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We obviously know they're hard because we're single.
Yeah.
So
That's
Keanu,
true.
they're hard?
They're hard for sure. Yeah. I would say, I mean, relationships takes a lot of work no matter what. And sometimes, especially in a love, it's like the most amount of work that it's going to take. And so if you're not going to be able to put in the work, it's like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of work, you know, and work is sometimes hard, sometimes not though. It can be a joy if it's the right person though, you know?
True.
Oh, and I agree. Yeah, and hopefully, yeah, it is overall a joyous, and obviously if it's the right person. So here's the thing to think about. Have you guys ever been friends with someone and you started to feel like the romantic attraction and you wondered, should I be in that or not because it might wreck my friendship?
I don't know if I've ever been in that necessarily. What about you, Keanu?
I think I have, definitely. I don't know how to talk about that.
You don't understand.
Yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
exactly.
So here's the thing. In the COVID crisis, you guys are both single. Do you find it harder to find somebody that you could maybe have a romantic relationship with? Do you find it more difficult now?
I think so, yeah. I think it's more difficult because you can't just like go to a social gathering. You can't just hang out outside like a coffee shop.
True.
Because that's where Christians hang out. And it's like you can't just, go out and about and just whimsically run into them, Like there's no,
Very true.
like a lot of movies kind of romanticize that a little bit. And like, so I think sometimes in the back of our mind, we think, oh, like it'd be cool to like be at the mall or somewhere random and just like, oh, I bumped into them and that was the one, That'd be crazy, right?
Mall's closed.
But like you can't do that, not anymore with COVID at least. And like, and if you can't really see even what they look like. You're like, maybe she is the one. I don't know. Maybe she isn't. I've never seen her. I can't even see except for her eyes. But yeah, it's harder for sure, I would say.
You think so too?
Maybe it's because I'm not looking. That's why it feels. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. But I'm sure if I was looking, it would be hard because of COVID for sure. Just the weird like I don't know where you stand. Like, do you want to hug me or do you want to touch my elbow? I don't know. It's just like this weird like okay, So that's kind of where I stay with it.
No, and I believe, by the way, I believe what you said, you're genuinely not looking. You know what's so interesting, though? I find right now, this is something I'm noticing, that amongst people who are single, very often they are looking, but then they don't want to be perceived as looking. Would that be true?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's
it's called
true.
The Game, I guess.
Yeah, Tracy, is that true? Okay. Marlon, you can't answer because you're engaged. But I feel like there's this tension out there, like you're kind of not supposed to be looking, and yet I feel like as a believer, it's not wrong. It's okay, you're not right now.
Yeah.
But it's not wrong to be looking, right? I mean, do you
No,
think?
not at all.
Yeah, I feel like I am in a similar situation where I'm not, I would say actively looking, but I'm more passively looking, if that makes sense. So like, I'm not going out and about like, oh, like, is this girl the one? Is that girl the one? Maybe I'm gonna look for this one. Maybe I'm over here. I'm gonna like check under this rock. No, I'm not doing that, I'm not like checking. But I'm kind of just like, if it comes along, I'll like think about it. I'll be like, is this the person? Maybe this girl, I just met her randomly or something, But that's kind of where I'm at, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like passively.
Okay, no, and that's not a bad place to be as a believer. By the way, get ready. I'm going to be talking about how to find the right person later, not today. But I'll tell you right now, the key to finding the right person is to actually not look specifically for them, but to look for Jesus. So it says in Matthew 6 that seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So if you're passionately seeking Jesus, I think one day you'll go, whoa, there they are. And they'll look at you and go, oh, there they are. And that's how you end up coming together, at least in the healthiest way, I think.
Yeah,
That's good, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, you're not praying for anybody right now, you both are saying?
I feel like it's different. I could pray for my like husband, but I don't feel like actively like I'm looking for a boyfriend right now. That's not how I feel. Does that make sense?
No, actually, it totally does. And actually, I think that's probably a good idea to always be praying because Lauren, this is so cool. God already knows who it is.
Yeah, crazy.
So do you ever like talk to him going like, Dad, okay, you know who he is. What's he doing right now? Like, I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I think it's more so just like, I hope that he loves you so much right now. It's like this, like, I hope that you're preparing him for like this relationship and for myself too. I have been reading in Proverbs and learning about prudent behavior, and I didn't know what that meant. And it's been like such a word, and like the theme of this year is prudence. And so I looked it up, and like the definition said, living in a way just in regards to your future. And I thought that was so cool because I'm such a, like all you guys know me, I'm such a blunt person. I have no filter. So I'm like, God, please give me like your filter so I like can learn how to be more of a prudent person because I don't realize the consequences of what I'm saying or what I'm doing, And so I think that kind of falls into just praying for like my future in general, general. So my husband, I'm praying for, when not actively, I'm like, oh, I want a husband. I'm just like praying, like when I think about it, I hope that he like loves you and I hope that he loves the church and that, you're preparing him for me and I'm being prepared for him. So.
I love that. And I think that's what I wish every single person would do because what you're doing is you're praying for an actual person who's out there that God knows who they are.
Yeah.
And you really should pray for them. I mean, it just makes sense that you would pray for them one day and vice versa. But I always think finding the right person starts with being the right person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, too often it's like, I want a person who has all these attributes, which isn't wrong. But do I have those attributes? Am I somebody that would be prepared or ready? Don't you think so, Keanu?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like oftentimes I'll do something similar, like what Lauren was doing. Like I'll pray for my future spouse, and then I'll also in that prayer will say, Lord, if I'm not ready, don't bring him close to me yet.
Yeah.
I want to be ready and not just like drop the ball, so to speak, or like be unprepared. So
Yeah.
I want that for myself. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And prudence is a big part of that. You mentioned it. There's
Yeah.
a passage in Proverbs that says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence.
So
And,
good.
so I have a sermon called Wisdom's Roommate, and wisdom's roommate is prudence.
Oh, wow.
Which
That's cool.
we won't go into that right now. And some of you are
Preach
going,
it right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Some people are going, that's so cheesy.
No, I don't think
That's
so.
why I'm old. Anyway, yeah. But, the whole idea of prudence is saying, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm not ready. I think that's really, really wise.
Yeah.
And to do a lot of introspection as you get ready for that moment that God brings that person into your life is vital and important. So what kind of things do you want in the person that you would meet one day? You've already mentioned a couple. What are some other things, Lauren?
Oh, man. Apart from obviously them loving Christ, someone who's kind, someone who's funny. I feel like I said, I have no filter, so I could wreck someone with my words on accident and I don't even know it. So someone who's funny. This is a new one after listening to your podcast with Galen. Emotional intelligence, I feel like is huge. Someone who like knows how to serve a moment and like if there is conflict, knows how to address the conflict and knows like, oh, she's probably upset, so let's like talk about this. I think that's super huge. I think the biggest one would be that he just loves the church and believes in the body. And I think I gotta always shout them out. Laura and Fred, I feel like they set that example so well of just like, like Laura's this like amazing singer and like, but she'll step down and like, she'll let other people lead, just like you were talking about in the other podcast. And same with Fred, like this guy is insane. People don't even know because he's always behind the scenes. But they're just so humble and they make each other better. And that's like something I look for in someone's like, I want you to be better because of me and I want to be better because of you. And I don't want to be like someone completing me, kind of situation. So yeah, someone who loves the church, loves the body.
Okay,
So-
that is really, really good. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 on, talks about the two are better than one. And it goes on to really teach because they're better together than apart.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, one of the signs you're with the person God wants you to be with is you are better together than apart.
Yeah.
And you make each other stronger. You make each other more self-aware, of what's going on inside you. And Pam does that for me. There's no doubt that you guys all know Pam, but she definitely makes me better by being with her. So what are some things you're looking for?
Great question. Definitely, number one, like Lauren had said, they have to love the Lord. Have to love the Lord. And in doing so, obviously, they love the church, I would say that's definitely a top priority. Other things is I guess, I don't know if this is personal. I guess we're getting personal out here. But I just like someone who is, I think, more extroverted since I'm more introverted.
That's good.
And I don't know if that's like a opposites attract kind of vibe or whatever, but that's just something that I'm like, oh, that's like, I don't know, attractive to me. And just like the idea of someone who's more extroverted or more lively and like upbeat, I definitely feel like I'm very... what's the word? I don't want to say the word slow because that sounds weird. I'm like, yeah, maybe meek. I'm just like, I think I'm very calm. And then I think having the other side of like, oh, like being upbeat would be cool. I don't know. But other than that, definitely like, I think there's this idea that I really like. And it's like, I think support is a cool word, but it falls a little short of what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of a relationship, Support is cool, like to support your significant other. But I think there's this word, I kind of just use the word champion or championship. It's kind of like a mixture for me of like repping a brand, but also being like a cheerleader and like supporting somebody and like wanting to put wind in someone's sails to do something.
That's good.
Like if like my significant other was just like, I really want to start a company, it's like, I want to back you up and support that however I can. I want to champion you in that, and I think that's like a really cool aspect that I'm looking for also in somebody else who would want to support me in my aspirations or whatever it is, but that's what I I guess, find attractive and looking
good.
for.
Yeah, that is really cool. I actually have never heard it put that way, but it makes so much sense. By the way, I just have to give you props because you started out by saying you want to support them. So many people are saying, well, I want somebody who will support me.
Yeah.
And didn't you guys love how he starts out with, no, I want to support them. I want to cheer them on. I want to see them fulfill their dreams and hopes and desires and giftedness. And then you said me too, which is healthy. But I thought that was really good. By the way, just so you know, if I were to take a word that I think it describes you, I think you're measured. I made a joke that I was going to try to rattle you, and I wasn't really going to do it. But I told Lauren, yeah, I'm going to do this to Keanu, and we both said, but you don't get rattled.
No.
You just, you're solid. You're there, and I love that about you. We respect that in you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
but I love that idea that you're someone who wants to cheer someone on. I always hope for the people and that I see coming up, getting ready to get married, that they have someone who wants them to fulfill their greatest desires, dreams, and hopes, and their God-given calling, and not be one who holds them back from that, but propels them forward to that, which to me is a sign again of God bringing two people together. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. I believe, just so you know, and I'll be teaching on this later, there are 15 non-negotiables the Bible says someone ought to be before they get married and be in the person you marry. Then you also should have what I call the negotiables, the things you look for too. The things you go, man, I would really like that to be in them. So it could be like, the Bible doesn't say you have to marry somebody musical, but you guys might want to be with somebody musical. And that's a thing you'd say, Lord, that's what I'd really like too. So what are some of those? Some of the things you kind of hope are there for them in them.
Oh man, I think musical for sure. I mean, it's okay if they're not. Like, I'm not saying you don't have to be. I think a negotiable would probably be like, yeah, that'd be like a bonus. Like if they understand music and like we can play a song together. I don't know. Like do you know what I mean? I don't know what else. I can't think of what's up, man. You just kind of hit it on the head. So
I know you kind of nailed most of them. I feel like
just the one, just musical. That's it.
Musical. I'm sure there are other things. I mean, it's hard to say like non-negotiable because I feel like except for the biblical ones, anything else is in a sense negotiable, I suppose. Like I feel like if it's a person I like and really want to continue a relationship with, it's like kind of like, hey, like as long as they're like Christ-centered, like it doesn't matter what they do. They could be like, I like making wicker baskets. Like, okay, that's awesome. Like, let's make wicker baskets together. That's cool. You know?
I feel that. I feel like lately I'm like, I don't know. I love the musical side, but I'm like, they would just be like me if they loved music, and then we would only do music, and that's it, which is cool. That'd be awesome. But I'm like, yeah, if they want to make wicker baskets, like that's awesome too. Like, I don't know, something like is like very niche about like having someone who does something like that is their own, and like that you can also like champion them with. Like that's really special too, which I think would be cool.
Okay, so that actually is one of the things you're saying. You want them to have something that's their own, something that they love and they're passionate about, right?
Yeah, I feel like that would be cool. I would feel like that'd be cool to be able to support them in that. Something that I like have no idea about. Like, teach me about yo-yos, your yo-yo collection. I would love to know about your yo-yo collection.
Okay, that's like so cool.
Okay, maybe not yo-yo collection. I don't know if I can do that.
Well, I'm still on the wicker basket thing. So if you know how to make wicker baskets, I've got two people. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
So random.
Come
Maybe
on.
I'm not. No, here's the question I was asked to ask you guys, and they knew this ahead of time. It was coming, but the fact that you said you want someone who loves the church, which obviously that is so cool, and Jesus would want that because it's his bride. But that means that you'd be dating somebody in the church. So what advice will you give, or do you think is good advice to take about how you would go into dating somebody who's a part of your church family?
I think the biggest thing about dating in the church is become friends with the person that you're about to date, or not date. I think you might go into this friendship being like, you know what, I actually don't know if I want to date this person. I think a big thing is like going out in groups and seeing how they react in group settings, seeing if you like even mesh. I think a lot of people go into relationships and really quick, and it's like, oh no, this isn't working. And then things end and you have ministry the next day and you have to see that person and it's kind of awkward. So I think that'd be my biggest advice is like having that foundation of friendship, Because I mean, both of us have had to go through that of just like this awkwardness of like, all right, I'm gonna see this person that we just broke up and we have to see each other at church, and that's just the reality of it. But we have that friendship foundation of like, hey, I still love you as a friend, and like, you know, I care about you, and we're gonna just serve God together still, even if it's like a little awkward and, you know, I'm like kind of scared, but it's okay. So I think that'd be like a good advice for someone who was looking to date in the church.
Yeah, I'm going to reiterate, number one, be a good friend first.
Yeah.
I think super important. And that way your motives are good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the motives are right. And then the other thing I would say, I love that you said is the more you do in groups, the better. And I've always gotten concerned when I watch, and you guys have seen this happen, where you have a friend and they get with somebody else and they fade away on their own.
Yeah.
And they lose the accountability, but they lose the idea of growing together and being with others. And it's, you know, to me, like being in a group of people is really, really powerful, important, and protective.
Yeah,
and I want to see you guys protected.
Yeah.
So what would you say?
Oh man, good question. Group for sure is something that I agree on. Like definitely getting to know them as a friend and then growing in a group is really cool, and I think that's really, like you said, powerful. I would say, I don't know how best to say this. Let's just like not make dating in the church weird or awkward, because it's super like I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes,
like
yes.
It can be really weird or really awkward, and I think I kind of just like things the way they are, if that makes sense. Like a straightforwardness, I guess, a little bit. But like, if you're going on a date, just say you're going to go on a date. Like, you know, like if you're like, hey, can I take you on a date? I think that's better than like, hey, you want to get like maybe coffee sometime at maybe 3 p.m. Maybe? I don't know. You know, it's just a hang though, you know? It's just like, oh, like if you like her or if she likes you or whatever, you know, I feel like that's like clarity. Like clarity is so important, and you don't want to be like, oh, like I don't know, I'm just gonna like kind of leave her hanging and just be like, oh, I guess we're gonna go on like one little hangout, and I don't know, it's not really a date. We're kind of like talking or whatever, you know, these weird phrases that get thrown around in church all the time and outside of church. I'm sure they do probably. I don't know. I guess I really don't know on that one if they do, but I think for sure just like getting clarity on things like that. Like, hey, like if you like a girl, just tell her, hey, you want to go on a date, and then be clear and upfront, and it doesn't have to be weird or awkward after that, you know.
No, I think that's super important, because a lot of people, they hem and haw and hedge around because they don't have the courage. They're afraid they're going to turn down.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, hey, you want to hang out? You know, and they're like, I don't know. And, oh, I didn't really mean it that way. Well, yes, you did. You're a liar at that point. So you're saying, and not meanly, just, hey, actually state your intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
so good. Yeah, I feel like there's this like weird, like people don't like to get turned down, like obviously, but I feel like at the church, like we're in a very safe space, and it's like everyone is friends. It's like kind of weird. It's like everyone kind of, when I came, it was like, oh, they dated them and they dated them. So I'm like, it's kind of like, do I hang out with them? Do I not? So I feel like, yeah, clarity is so huge. It's just like, if you are interested, just be straightforward. I feel like people are very like, they like to like kind of tiptoe around the issue, and then someone ends up getting hurt. So I think that's really good advice.
I think it's really good advice. One of the other pieces of advice I give is, if you are actually dating somebody, then you guys come to church together. It's a really good idea before you come in to pray and say, Lord, who are you going to give us a chance to bless today? And then separate. This is a big one. Separate and go out and talk to people and share with them and see where God could use you. And then when you meet up again, you could go, what did God do with you? And you guys can celebrate, and it makes your relationship now focused on Christ, but better.
Oh, that's so good.
That's really good. I like that idea of like separating during the service to serve at the service.
Yeah.
And then regrouping, I guess, because, you know, at the end of the night, you just go back and get dinner or something, you know, together, and then you can have something like interesting and fun and Christ-centered to talk about. You know,
Yeah,
which I
it's
think is really
and
cool.
it does. It gives you something to actually share in that's pretty powerful. Well, so here's the question I'm going to ask you guys. Do you know what the 15 non-negotiables are that the Bible says you should be in you and should be in the other person? And by the way, even if you're married, you want these in your marriage. So here's the thing. We're going to tell you that later. So what do you think they are? Think about it. Talk about it with friends. See if you know. You probably will get some of them right away. Others you may not. But we'll be digging into those later. But Lauren, I love that song, and I love all your music.
Thank you so much. You're so kind.
And to find your music, they would go to?
Spotify, Apple, YouTube. I think
And
that's it. Yeah, Lauren
search?
Preuss. Lauren Preuss. Preuss. It's a
Yeah.
hard last one. Last
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
And by the way, Lauren's more than once said that she can be blunt, and I want to attest you can. But it's good. It's really, really good. I just know never to try to one-up Lauren because she's smarter than I am.
I would
She's like,
never. I would never with you. Never.
Okay, that's good. Well, thank you guys for being here.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having us.
And
This was
I
fun.
love both you guys.
We love you too.
Thanks.
All right.
yeah.
God bless you guys, and we'll be back in a week.